Red Hollow was not the kind of town that noticed small things. It noticed gunfire. It noticed drunken brawls spilling out of the saloon. It noticed cattle drives and dust storms, and men with reputations riding in from the horizon. But it did not notice the quiet seamstress at the corner of Main and Willow. Nancy Whitmore preferred it that way. Her shop sat between the barber and the general store, its wooden sign faded by years of sun. Inside, the air always smelled of clean cotton, starch, and lavender oil. Bolts of fabric lined the walls, calico wool, satin brought in by rail months before. A single window faced the street, where sunlight spilled across her cutting table. Nancy's hands were her livelihood. Slender, steady, precise. She could mend a ripped sleeve so neatly no one would find the tear again. She could hem a dress by sight alone. She believed everything broken could be repaired. One only had patience. That belief had carried her through more than fabric. The bell above her door jingled as Mrs. Harper bustled in with a torn apron. Fence caught it again. The woman huffed. Nancy smiled softly. Barbed wire doesn't know when to let go. She took the apron, examining the jagged rip. Clean tear. Easy fix. Outside, a commotion rose, hooves striking dirt, men's voices lifting in excitement. Nancy barely glanced toward the window. Travelers passed through often, but the noise grew louder. Curiosity tugged at her. She set down the apron and peered outside. A small crowd had gathered near the saloon. At its center stood a tall man dismounting a dark bay horse. He moved with controlled ease, like someone who measured every step. A long leather rifle case was slung over his shoulder. He removed his hat, revealing dark hair and a face cut sharp by sun and wind. There was something distant in his gray eyes, like a man who had seen too much open road. Someone in the crowd called out, "You, the sharpshooter." The man gave a slight nod. "Name's Marcus Hale," he said evenly. The name rippled through the onlookers. Nancy felt something tighten in her chest. She'd heard of traveling marksman men who made a living splitting cards and shooting coins out of the sky. Dangerous men, lonely men. Marcus's gaze drifted over the street and stopped at her window. If you want to hear the full story, click the title below.